Happy Halloween, everybody. It's EK from EK Women Designs, and I am coming in with the fourth and final part of my coupling from the Boo Baby Monsters and the Boo Baby Brides. For the last 4 days, I have been showing off how I turn these little monsters and brides into couples. And today is the fourth and final installment of the group. Today we are featuring the killers. We have the assassin bride and the horrifying person from Scream. And ironically, they are both pointing their weapons at each other, which I thought was cute. I actually turned the assassin bride around. It's a digital stamp, so I inverted it, so that way we could have her gun pointing at the Scream killer. So, you know, fun! I am off to coloring. This is the assassin bride is my one and only character who takes a traditional flesh tone. All the other Boo babies and were undead or living dead or monsters, so they all had their own variation of skin tones. So the assassin bride is my one living character, so I went with more of a traditional skin tone palette with her. And then I got to the Scream mask and was like, great, it's white. I need to create a white mask. But I didn't want it to be dull and lifeless, so I really layered the cool grays over the mask, knowing that his entire gown would be dark. So even though I literally stripped all the white from the mask, it would still appear white in the long run. And then with his outfit, instead of coloring the whole thing, which is what I was going to do, I colored it in sections. And so instead of, like, because the hood's going to be black, the boots are black, the robe is black, I did it in sections so that way I could build up layers of black. Because if I just colored it all in, I might lose the details. And I didn't want to lose the depth and the details of his gown and his shoes and his hood, especially his hood around his mask. So I took the darkest of my three cool blacks and colored in the gown. Now, I preach regularly not to use your black Copic marker, because when you do, it becomes a void of nothingness. However, I needed more depth than I had. So I pulled out the 100 black marker and laid in some color on the boots and the hoods in the darkest spots, so that way there really would be black within. That void of nothingness is actually what I was going for. I wanted his face to actually, especially around right here, around the face of the mask, I wanted that void of nothingness, darkness to actually exist. So I laid in that 100, which I normally don't do. And yes, it made my other cool grays look gray and not black. But I don't regret doing it, because I really like the nothingness that kind of exists around his face. If you've missed the previous this is the fourth, the three couplings, go back and check them out, because there's all kinds of different color combinations I use throughout the series. Just all four couples are colored in Copic, but yet the variations happen throughout the whole thing. So you get to see how I play with my markers. I'm not an expert. I'm not certified in any way. I'm just a person who's been playing with them for some time and has created some ideas of how I like to do things. So take it as you want. I really enjoyed coloring this outer hood of the Scream Kid, because I think I managed to get some real movement, especially around the jawline with the hood. Now, coloring the Assassin Bride was a little bit more tricky. I didn't want to color her just in grays. I wanted her hair to actually be Vixen. I've colored her before, and the first time I colored her up, she ended up being more of I used more of an orangey, let's go with orange. I used an orange color for her hair and her dress, which was fun because I wanted her to have life within her. I wanted the same thing here too, but I wanted her coupling to make sense with Scream Kid. So I went ahead and pulled out my warm grays, my three darkest warm grays, and colored her hair up with the warm grays to give her that bad black dye job look, where you're like, that's not her natural color, but it works. So that's what I was aiming for here. Because again, she is my only really living, well, I guess Scream Kid could be, but she's my only living kid that we really know of. So I wanted her to have some realistic looks to her. I debated long and hard what color to go with the dress, and I think the color I decided was the right one in the end. I kind of played around with the idea of her having a warm gray dress, and then I was like, nope, that's it, we're doing color. But I didn't go with color. I went with a desaturated color and pulled out my lightest reds. So I pulled out the R triple or quadruple four, the RO2, and the R double O, and let her dress be a really fleshy pink color. And I like it. I think it's fun. I think there's a playfulness to it. It gives her that kind of like, oh, did I do something bad feeling, and her cute little pink dress. I didn't realize I made a little boo-boo in the coloring of this, but like his knife is actually touching her dress because I messed up in the coloring. And I think it works. Like, now she's going, oh, are you poking me with your knife? I'm holding a gun. I really thought in the beginning when I coupled up the killers that these two would be my least favorite to color of the group. Just because they're not a logical pair until you think about it and you're like, oh wait, yes, they are a logical pair. But I really enjoyed coloring them, mainly because they are maybe the most different. They are, the variation of the two of them was allowed to be the most fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching this series and seeing how I play around with a couple of digital stamps from Oddball Art. You want to see more like this, let me know, because I actually enjoy coloring digital stamps and seeing what you can do with them. Want to see more things, let me know in the comments below, and I'll keep doing stuff like this because it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to see what happens when you take two very simple, well, they're not simple, but two simple ideas and you combine them together to make a whole new idea. Yeah, it's been fun. I hope you've gotten a kick out of it. If you don't subscribe to my channel and are coming along here by chance, hit that dragon. It's going to subscribe you to me. Throw out some thumbs up because, you know, it makes me happy when I see it. Happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the coupling of the Boo Baby Monsters and the Boo Baby Brides. And stay tuned because who knows what I will couple up next.